When Jim Haig approached me in the fall of 1998, he was concerned because he had been on chemotherapy for widespread or metastatic prostate cancer, and his treatment had caused him to have heart toxicity. And because of that, his treatment had been discontinued, and he would have been classified as a treatment failure. And he was left on a small dose of prednisone only because of associated inflammation of the heart muscle. He came to me hoping that I might be able to suggest some kind of alternative treatment, since at that point in time the oncologist had not been able to offer him anything else. And I said to him, look, I'm going to think about possibly putting you on Immunocal because of what I know about it, and I'm going to discuss it with your urologist. And I did, and the urologist said to me, to my surprise pleasantly, why not? Let's try him on it. And so at that point in time, having had the treatment failure, he started on Immunocal, 1 packet per day, and he had at that time when he started a PSA of 208, and after 1 month his PSA dropped down to a level of 28, which in itself was amazing, but it was only 1 month. So we waited until the second month, and at the second month it was 11. And at that point of time we realized that we were having an amazing response. In addition to which, he felt very much better, much improved. His symptoms of fatigue and of having a depressed outlook were alleviated to a great degree. He felt substantially better and was able to take his vacation in Florida, which he usually does in the late fall, and to be able to look forward to enjoying it. So in other words, it turned his situation around and enabled him to have a much improved quality of life and to resume his life the way he would have liked to at that point in time.
One of the most dramatic users or changes in a user that I've observed is the change in Mildred Wade, who's a patient of mine for many years, whom I've watched as a diabetic, difficult to control, and I've watched her deteriorate to the point where a little more than a year ago she became confused. We had her on medication for Alzheimer's disease. She was mentally out in left field a good deal of the time. She had lost her personality. She had lost her enthusiasm. She was barely able to walk. She had become incontinent. She really wasn't functioning as a person anymore. But thanks to the care that her sister gave her, and also to the miracle, and I really think of it as a miracle, of Immunocal, Mildred has regained her mental acumen. She can carry on a good conversation. Her sense of humor is better than ever. She, except for the fact that she has some visual problems that are going to be operated upon soon, her circulation in her legs is better. Her diabetes is controlled in a way that we were never able to achieve before. And she is able to ambulate. She's able to control her incontinence problem is gone. She functions. She walks into my office now. I used to make house calls on Mildred because there was no other way to see her. So in every way I would offer Mildred as a case in point, not by any chance our only case in point, but a very dramatic and wonderful one whose improvement is 95% due to Immunocal because of the dramatic nature of the change that she underwent after she started it.
I gave it to Mildred twice a day, and she drank it faithfully there for about 2 months. And I could just see a drastic change in Mildred after drinking this Immunocal. And I was just so happy about it. Every time I'd come in the office, I'd say, give me another box of that Immunocal that you have. So I would get it and take it home, and we'd have used it faithfully for about a year. And there she is to prove the point. Since I started taking Immunocal, I noticed a drastic change in my walking, my speech, and my food. I would eat much better. And it just gave me strength and hope all the way around. Today, she stands on her own 2 feet and acts and talks like my sister used to do, thanks to Immunocal.
I have one case of a 48-year-old female with renal cell carcinoma. And it was at the point in her life, basically, that the oncologist had said, you know, there's something we can do for you, but really not very much, and the percentages of survival are pretty thin. And they'd given her several choices, and so I came in contact with this patient, and we put her on Immunocal aggressively, on Immunocal 2 packs 4 times a day. And we also did what we thought was important for her lifestyle changes. And I can say that from that time that we started, we began to see her energy return and her general feeling of well-being almost immediately improve. And then following that, over a period of years now, it's been several years, we have had CAT scan evidence of the primary metastatic sites to actually resolve with no other chemotherapy or irradiation, just on Immunocal and lifestyle, to resolve where now we have, and by the way, the metastasis went to the liver and the lungs and up the lymph nodes in the neck. And we've seen those diminish where all of the pulmonary nodules secondary to this metastasis in the lungs are gone. The major tumors in the liver are gone except one, and that's been shrinking. And all the adenopathy is resolved in the neck and the lymph nodes in the neck. So we've been excited about that, and of course she's been really excited about it, because from a person who had been given 7 weeks to 6 months to live, that's been several years ago now, she's still going strong and enjoying life. So those are the kind of things that we've seen with Immunocal.
20 years ago, there was maybe a handful of articles done on glutathione. In the last couple of years, there are over 35,000 articles written on glutathione. And the potential clinical applications are immense. There's a huge amount of work done in the field of infectious disease, including AIDS, including hepatitis. There's a very, very active teams looking at glutathione modulation in cancer therapy, in the prevention of the side effects of chemotherapy, and even simple things like what glutathione does to the healthy person. There's a lot of research done on athletic people and the average person on how to avoid getting old, and what we call anti-aging medicine. One question I get a lot of the times is what effect it'll have on pregnant or lactating women. In fact, I promote raising glutathione very strongly in pregnant and lactating women.
About a year ago, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C, and the doctors were going to have to put me on some chemicals, really strong chemicals, because my liver had been damaged so greatly. So 8 months ago, I started using Immunocal to combat the side effects and also to help with my energy level, because I didn't have any energy. And sure enough, my energy level went up and the side effects were diminished greatly. And now they can't even detect the virus in my body, and also my liver is rejuvenating itself.
So I took this product for 4 months, and I got amazing result. For the first time after 3 years, I passed to high level of risk to low level of risk. And 2 months later, I went to completely cure from this severe dysplasia. This was really amazing for me, and it was great news that without changing anything in my life, just using Immunocal, I could get those good results.
I began to take 2 packets a day of Immunocal because of my condition. An amazing thing happened when I started back on the chemotherapy. I had absolutely no side effects, and this was just unbelievable to me. And so I decided, well, this has to be because of the product, because this is the only different thing that I was doing. I can tell you this, Immunocal is a product that I will take for the rest of my life.
I first heard about Immunocal in November of last year. Started taking it immediately. I felt that anything that could help improve my wellness was worth a try. The immediate response from me was a tremendous surge in just